class. So by now you have completed Module 1, and this is my take-home points video for this module. In my take-home points videos, what I want to do is emphasize important concepts from each module and also highlight some information that may not be completely clear in the textbook. So, for Module 1, essentially what was focused on is the history of psychology, the founding of psychology, the fact that psychology came from philosophy, and that psychology is a very diverse field today. Okay? As far as the founding of psychology, one thing that I want you to take home is that Wilhelm Wundt, the founder of psychology, is considered the founder or the father of psychology because he established the first scientific lab. Now keep in mind there were labs at the time, but really they were teaching labs. So what they would do is class demonstrations, essentially, show phenomena, research phenomena that had already been established. The difference between those labs and Wundt's lab is that Wundt was trying to add to the field through empirical research. So what he is doing is establishing psychology as an empirical field and emphasizing the idea that new research must always be conducted. So that's why he's considered the founder of psychology. Okay? Wundt's school of thought was voluntarism because he emphasized free will. He studied consciousness, as did all of the early psychologists. And by early, I mean Wundt and Titchener. Titchener founded the School of Structuralism, and William James. William James founded the School of Functionalism. Okay? Along those lines, the School of Functionalism founded by William James is the school that is probably most relevant to psychology today. What James emphasized was the idea that the mind, that consciousness, serves a purpose. And as the text says, James, his school of thought, functionalism, was highly influenced by Charles Darwin and the theory of evolution. The idea, how James took it, was the mind allows us to adapt, to make choices. James was also a bit of a humanist in that he tended to believe that we would make good choices, choices that were conducive to our survival, to our adjustment, basically. So you had these early researchers, early psychologists, again, Wundt, Titchener, James, studying consciousness. And then you had J.B. Watson, John B. Watson, come along, and Watson founded the School of Behaviorism in 1913. Watson believed that psychology should focus on directly observable events. And because the mind, because the activities of consciousness are not directly observable, Watson actually thought that psychology up to his point, and this was 1913, up to this point was kind of a waste of time, not an empirical field, because they were studying a phenomena that could not be directly observed. Okay? So Watson and behaviorism, the School of Behaviorism, became very influential in psychology because of the focus on empiricism. And remember that Wundt founded psychology as an empirical field. Okay? So behaviorism was very big for years and years. Okay? We will talk a lot more about behaviorism when we talk about the learning modules. So when we talk about Pavlov and classical conditioning, Skinner and operant conditioning. Both Pavlov and Skinner are behaviorists. The final point I want you to take from Module 1 is psychology today is incredibly diverse. Okay? There are many overall fields. There are many specializations within each field. So hopefully that hits home, some of the information in the text, hits home that really an introductory psychology course is scratching the surface as far as the field. Okay? So for example, I'm a social psychologist, which means that I'm interested in group interactions, the individual and how they interact with the group. I've also developed and taught courses on industrial organizational psychology, which is psychology in the workplace. So leadership, for instance, conflict in the workplace, that would be industrial organizational psychology. Positive psychology is another area that I am currently exploring and very interested in. I've taught a course in positive psychology for a year now, and positive psychology focuses on what makes people healthy and productive and thrive. Okay? So those are just some of the fields in psychology. Okay? So the next module is Module 3, and that module has you develop a research proposal. Okay? So be very careful about your research proposal. Read those instructions carefully, read the chapter carefully, and select a topic that you would want to develop a proposal that you are interested in, because that'll make the proposal easier. Now keep in mind this is a research proposal, so you're setting out how you would conduct research. You will not actually be collecting data or conducting your research. So I'll see you soon after you complete Module 3.